I am not very fluent in Gujarati, so I won't attempt and make a fool of myself. But can I speak in English and Hindi combination? Okay, English will do. That would be also be better for me. Before I start, I just wanted a show of hands. यहाँ पे कितने लोग builders, developers type व्यक्ति है? How many of you are builders, developers type? Okay. How many of you are industrial manufacturer types? Okay. And how many of you are investors? Okay. What about the rest? That's only half the crowd. Oh, everyone's an investor. Okay. So what I thought I'll do is I have about a 30-minute long presentation, and I will go through the entire beginning of how this whole SIR was formed, what is a smart city and everything. Then I will show you how smart cities are being built and what specifically Dholera, how it is being built. And then some opportunities and what kind of marketing we are doing, okay? So what I would probably like is maybe go through my entire presentation. Most of your questions hopefully will be answered. अगर आपका प्रश्न इधर मैंने आंसर नहीं किया हो पहले ही, then maybe at the end you can ask me a question, okay, or questions. So I wanted to start with explaining ये इंडिया में आजकल जब से मोदी साहब आ गए हैं सेंटर में 2014 से स्मार्ट सिटी मिशन काफ़ी चलता है. तो हमारे धोलेरा और स्मार्ट सिटी मिशन का क्या संबंध क्या है? तो एक्चुअली देयर इज़ नो कनेक्शन between the smart city program that was announced after Mr. Modi got elected and the smart city program that we are running. The one on the left is the smart city program that's undertaken by the Ministry of Urban Development, okay? And the one on the right is the smart city program that's taken over by the Department of Commerce. Completely two different departments in the government of India, right? So we call the one on the left a brownfield smart city program. Brownfield meaning that the cities are existing and you are trying to convert them into smart cities. So they install certain technology or Wi-Fi or traffic management to make it smart, like Surat is an example. Ahmedabad may be an example. However, on the right is the greenfield smart city. So greenfield means there is nothing there now. Greenfield means it's all घास फूस cover, everything is green. वहाँ से हम city बना रहे हैं, and that program is called a greenfield city program, and Dholera is under the greenfield city program under the Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor, okay, which is part of the India's Industrial Corridor program. Now, I don't know how many of you know, but there are 5 different corridors that are planned in India. And the main purpose for creating these corridors is to increase the manufacturing GDP of India. तो इंडिया का भी जो आज GDP है, उसका मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सिर्फ 15% है. वो 15% से 25% कैसे लाना, ये डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ कॉमर्स के अंदर गिरता है. तो डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ कॉमर्स ने ये 5 इंडस्ट्रियल कॉरिडोर बनाए, और वो कॉरिडोर में से ये दिल्ली मुंबई इंडस्ट्रियल कॉरिडोर जो है, ये पहला कॉरिडोर चालू किया है, जो 2009-10 में चालू किया था. और उसके बाद लास्ट 2-3 साल में ये बाकी सारे कॉरिडोर चालू किए हैं, और ये ऑल दिस कॉरिडोर्स आर मैनेज्ड बाय निगडिट, द नेशनल इंडस्ट्रियल कॉरिडोर ट्रस्ट डेवलपमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन, राइट? So now you know the difference between where Dholera is as a greenfield smart city and where the other smart cities programs are. They have no connection, the funding mechanism is different, and the management is completely different. But they are routinely mixed up. One is called the other, and people call I'm a smart city Dholera, and they think I'm a part of the brownfield smart city. So on this Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor, there are 8 different nodes, as they call it, industrial areas that are planned. And you can see number 6 is Dholera. And this is the largest node on this Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor. So Dholera is the largest. It is also the node that is come farthest along in terms of construction. So how big is Dholera? Dholera is 920 square kilometer, but if you compare that to some countries like Singapore, it is even bigger than Singapore. So we are almost building a country like Singapore, because you can see Singapore is 71,900 hectares and Dholera is 91,000 hectares. So it's almost 20% bigger than the country of Singapore. So now you can imagine why it takes time, and I will explain to you that also. But when it's completed, सब खत्म हो जाने के बाद 30 साल के बाद धोलेरा की पॉपुलेशन का एस्टिमेट है 2 मिलियन पीपल, 20 लाख आदमी वहाँ पे रहेंगे और लगभग 800,000 8 लाख जॉब्स, नए जॉब्स क्रिएट किए जाएंगे. ये जॉब से हमारी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग जीडीपी बढ़ने वाली है. These are all new industries under the Make in India program, which is what's going to create the economy for India. So, एक क्वेश्चन, मैं ये प्रोजेक्ट में 2013 से काम कर रहा हूँ, and a very common question that comes to me is, why does it take so long to build a city? So I wanted to show you the timeline as to why it takes so long. So in 2009, we enacted the SIR Act. But once the SIR Act is enacted, several things have to happen before you start building a city. So you have to create a development plan, which takes some time. The development plan has to be then approved. To get a sanctioned development plan, it takes anywhere from 3 to 5 years. Because a development plan is a formal, official document of the government of Gujarat. It has a public review process, it has a public comment timeline, and it takes that long. You cannot rush. It is like saying, deliver me a baby in 3 months. The baby will take 9 months, give or take 15 days, 1 month maybe. So development plan will always take 3 to 5 years because it is time-consuming process. After the development plan, we have to do the design. After the design, then we have to do the construction. So you can see, by the time we go through the entire process, we are anywhere between 7 to 11 years. Now Dholera, जैसे एडवर्टाइजमेंट किया था, मोदी जी ने पहली बार बताया था 2009 में मेरे ख्याल से, धुलेरा शहर आएगा, बहुत बड़ा बनेगा, सिंगापुर जैसे होगा, and everybody was saying, you know, कितना देरी हो रही है, how late it is becoming, you cannot build a city. But now you can see why it takes time. There is no way, maybe एक आध साल हम ज़्यादा expedite कर सकते थे, but some of these things take time. Development plan, design, construction. So these all take time, and it takes 7 to 11 years to build it. I also want to put in perspective Songdo in South Korea, which was the latest brand new city like Dholera that's being built, started in year 2000, okay? And today, in 2017, it is only 50% built, and it is only 8 square kilometers. We are 22 square kilometers starting with, going up to 900, and Songdo is only 8 square kilometers, and it is taking them 15 years. So we are not behind in terms of benchmarking in the world. We are doing a great job. So I want you all to know that state of Gujarat, the Gujarat bureaucracy, and the engineers are all doing a fantastic job. So don't worry, this will happen, and I will show you how this will happen. So how do we start constructing a big country like Singapore or a big city like Dholera? You cannot do 100 and 900 square kilometers. So as you know, we have town planning schemes. So we broke the town planning schemes into 3 phases. Phase 1 is TP 1 and 2. Phase 2 is 2, 3 and 4. And then TP 5 and 6 is phase 3. And you can see on the right-hand side, we have given you the timelines, approximate timelines. So phase 1 is up to 2022. We are doing to the construction. Uske baad phase 2 or phase 3 chalu hoga, right? But within phase 1, if you look at phase 1 is 153 square kilometer, which is TP1 and TP2. हमने इस पे कंस्ट्रक्शन करने का काम चालू किया था 2014 में, 13 में. But we soon found out that the cost of building trunk infrastructure, those of you who are in construction will appreciate this, the cost of building trunk infrastructure for 153 square kilometer is close to 40,000 crore. Abhi ye 40,000 crore investment humko kaun dega? Because there is no private investor that's going to come and build all the pipes, water, wastewater, power, gas, everything has to be built, right? So what we had at our disposal, हमारे पास खाली 3,000 करोड़ थे जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने हमें ग्रांट दी थी. तो 3,000 करोड़ में हम क्या क्या बना सकते हैं, तो हम बैकवर्ड्स कैलकुलेशन करके हमने एक 22 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर का फुटप्रिंट चुना. हाँ, ये 22 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर के फुटप्रिंट में हम 3,000 से 4,000 करोड़ खर्चा करके पूरा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाने वाले हैं. Complete, ready-made infrastructure. We call it plug and play. So you come in to the plot, everything will be ready to plug in, just like a new laptop nowadays. Now, 22 square kilometers, लगता है कि क्या छोटा है, 900 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर किधर, 22 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर किधर, but आप सोचो, 22 square kilometer is about the size of the city of Mumbai, the island city of Mumbai, from Kulaba to Bandra. Is 26.2 square kilometer. आप बंबई में जाते हो कभी छोटा लगता है आपको? Okay, so this is not that small. 22 square kilometer is a city in itself. Gandhinagar is about 40 square kilometer total. गांधीनगर का प्लानिंग चालू हो गया 1965 में, अभी 50% भी कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ. So you can see new cities take time, and 22 is not a bad size. It is a big size, but because of industrial production, it is going to go very fast once companies start relocating. So ये 22 square kilometer में, this is the breakdown. In 5 years, we will have 76,000 jobs in Dholera, in the activation area. Population about 1 lakh होगा. And ये जो आपको दिखता है purple area, that purple area is completely industrial. Okay, so majority of activation area is completely industrial. वहीं पे हमारा पहला client आएगा, tenants आएंगे, और वहाँ से ही सिटी की शुरुआत होगी. And all the yellow is residential, the green is green cover, and all the red dots are public amenities, parks, playground, water, sewer, those kinds of things, power plant. So 22 square kilometer का हमारा footprint, ये हमारा footprint है 22 square kilometer का. And this footprint, Dholera, is going to be managed by Digdil. Digdil is a special purpose investment vehicle, SPV I should say, which is formed between DMIC-DC and the state government of Gujarat. And this is a special partnership, जो 51-49% partnership है, जिसमें DMIC ने 3,000 करोड़ कैश लगाया है और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गुजरात ने 3,000 करोड़ की जमीन दी है. सो हमारा कॉर्पस बन गया 6,000 करोड़. ये 6,000 करोड़ से लेके हम इनिशियल ट्रंक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ने चालू कर दिया हमने. अभी जैसे हम लैंड पार्सल बेचेंगे तो आज के ज़माने से कंपेयर टू टुडे लैंड का प्राइसेस तो ऑलरेडी 5-6 गुना तो हो ही जाएंगे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का इन्वेस्टमेंट डालने के बाद. तो वो जो पैसा आएगा वो पैसे से हम एडिशनल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाएंगे. तो ये टिपिकल डेवलपर मॉडल है आपका. आप डेवलपर तो ऐसे ही करते हैं, 4 बिल्डिंग होती है, 1 बिल्डिंग बनाते हो, बेचते हो, दूसरा बिल्डिंग बनाते हो. तो दिस इज द सेम मॉडल वी आर यूजिंग एक्सेप्ट इन लैंड. So we'll be selling land. So we call this a land monetization model, right? So we have started with a corpus of 3,000 crores, which is not a small amount, and then growing it eventually the entire Dholera over 30 years. So this is a little bit about Digdil. It is a SPV, like I said. AECOM, my company, is a program manager that was hired to manage the entire implementation of Dholera, and we've been here since 2013. And some of the unique things that we want to mention is that initially Digdil is going to be managed like a business. So there is a managing director. He was supposed to come here today, but unfortunately because of the swearing in ceremony, he got tied up there. But managing director will run this like a private company CEO, not like a municipality. Even though it's a municipality, it will be run like a business. He has a board of directors he has to report to, which means he has to satisfy his metrics and his performance criteria. So it will be run like a business, and it's going to be very efficient, single window operation, all services under one umbrella. So what are we building in Dholera right now? So we are building all of these trunk infrastructure projects. This is what the DMIC Trust has approved right now. And the trust approval is 2,784 crores. So that's the money that is already authorized to us. The balance of the money, 4,400 crores, we are going to find some PPP, private partner. It is mostly in the power and the water side. And we will figure out how we will get that funding part done. But right now we are proceeding. We have 5 construction contracts already let out. L&T is the largest construction contract. You saw them on the film earlier today. Cube Construction, CCEL is doing the ABCD building. L&T is also doing the water and the CETP. And then SPML Construction from Delhi is doing the water treatment plant. So we have country's largest 5 contracts being let out at this amount. Okay, so now I want to get a little bit into connectivity, because the second most frequently asked question to me is, अरे यार तुम्हारा धोलेरा कहाँ का कहाँ पड़ा हुआ है, 100 किलोमीटर दूर, लोग जाएंगे कहाँ, कैसे वहाँ पे, कौन जाएगा बसने के लिए? So I want to remind everyone that there are many places in the world where you start a new city that's 50, 60, 80, 100 kilometers away, but very soon, over 10, 20 years, it sort of merges into the nearest main city. In our case, we are hoping that Ahmedabad will be that nearest main city because it's a more vibrant, bigger community. And we are also introducing this concept of twin city, where Dholera and Ahmedabad will become almost like a twin city concept. Maybe not now, but maybe in a few years, because the corridor between Ahmedabad and Dholera, we are right now building a 6-lane access controlled expressway. That expressway is actually under design by National Highways Authority of India. It has already been funded. Land acquisition has started. Okay. We are also building a metro inside the accessway that will reduce the commuting time between Ahmedabad to Dholera to less than 45 minutes. Now, when that happens, distance will no longer be an issue. It is going to become a twin city concept. You know, when you have a metro, you can sit there, sleep, read your book, be on your Wi-Fi, at the same time go to work, relax and not drive. I think that would be fantastic. Wouldn't you say so, right? So we are doing all of those things. And to show you again, there is also an airport that's coming up near Dholera, although that's not part of the DMIC project directly. DMIC is involved on the outside because the airport and Dholera both benefit each other. It's a symbiotic relationship, because if airport succeeds, Dholera succeeds. If Dholera succeeds, airport succeeds. So we are helping each other out, although it's a separate project from Dholera. Then the last connectivity factor is, of course, our industrial clients. Right now there is an existing train line, a broad gauge from Sanand all the way down to Botad. But the connection between Botad and, Bimnath and Dholera is missing. So that connection between Bimnath and Dholera, we are actually building that connection right now, right? So with that missing connection, once we make that missing connection between Bimnath and Dholera, you will have a complete rail connectivity into Sanand, where all of the manufacturing goods made in Dholera can be connected via Sanand into the dedicated freight corridor, which then goes to the rest of the country or the world. I also wanted to point out where the existing state highway, I'm sure all of you have driven there, have noticed that existing state highway is being reinforced. And the main reason for that is because the expressway will take about 4 years to build. See, we did not want to take any chance, so we are already strengthening the existing SH6 and SH1 and 40. They have already been strengthened, and the lanes have been added capacity. So I'm sure those of you who drive down there have noticed that. Then overall, from a connectivity standpoint, once you are near Dholera, it's extremely well connected to all the ports by road and rail. So this is a slide that we have created for our industrial clients to show that, within a 6-hour drive, they can be in Mundra, or within a 2-hour drive, they can be in Bhavnagar, because our industrial clients mostly want to know how can they evacuate their business goods, the manufacturing goods. So they have easy access to airports, ports, but through rail or by road, both ways. Okay, so now let me switch the gears a little bit and speak about smart cities. So I'm sure the word smart cities has been so overly used that people are curious, what does a smart city mean? Can anyone give me a one-line definition what smart city means to them? Does anyone have that? Okay, well, I'll give it a shot then, okay? So this is sort of my own definition, which is compiled from many different sources, but it's really our thinking of what we have come across. Smart city is, the city itself is an inanimate object. It is just a dead thing. But what makes it smart is we have installed systems, processes, and devices into the infrastructure so that the people, you, the businesses, you, can make smart decisions. So let me give you a few examples of smart decisions. I'm sure all of you, most of you, may be familiar with Google, right? So आज के ज़माने में क्या होता है, अगर ट्रैफिक जाम होता है किधर, आपको जाना है अहमदाबाद से किधर जाना है, तो how many of you Google frequently and say किधर ट्रैफिक कहाँ से जाऊँ? Quite a few of you. Okay, see, I've seen some hands. So what does Google do? Google is taking the data and giving you the information so you can make the smart decision, correct? In our case, we will have something like this because we will have all these sensors and traffic instruments within our infrastructure so that you can make the smart decision on your traffic. Let me give you another example of a smart decision. In the future, as our resources become more and more scarce and valuable, water, for example, will be priced based on the time of day usage. So शाम को शायद पानी बहुत महंगा हो सकता है, दिन में सस्ता होगा क्योंकि जब भी डिमांड हाई होता है तो पानी का भाव भी बढ़ जाता है, जैसे like everything else, डिमांड सप्लाई की चीज है. So the smart meters that we are going to install is going to give you up to the minute by minute consumption of your water. So you can make the decision whether you want to use that water now or you want to use the water at night when the rates are cheaper. That's what I mean by smart decisions, and we are putting all of these infrastructure components into the infrastructure now, which you cannot do in a brownfield city. That's the difference. A greenfield city that's smart from ground up. So here's a snapshot of everything that we are building. This is a typical cross-section of our road, and there are 2 points or 3 points I want to make here. Number one, first